I'm very curious as to why these links are not opening up anymore, but I guess I'll check on that after the live. Ladies and gentlemen, traders, how are we doing today on this fine day? Let me take a moment here to check the comment section. Let's see how the traders are doing as they're tuning in here early. Patrick, how you doing today, man? Patrick, how you doing? Brad is a long-time viewer who's checking in here every day, every morning, religiously. How you guys doing on this fine day? I think today is what, Wednesday or Thursday? Is it Thursday already? Thursday, August 8th. Man, time is flying. It still feels like it's February, March, for me. That's how fast the time has been going this year. I mean, it's been absolutely insane. Mr. Man, how you doing today? Good morning, good morning. Simon, what's up? What's up? Mobile is in the building. We got Gus, same day trading. Same day trading. I like that name right there. Sounds pretty good. Matthew, what's up? So we got a few people tuning in on the YouTube live stream. We got a few members in the Discord like Snaz, that's chilling out. Tempest, how you guys doing on this fine day? So remember the disclaimer, right? And this is for everyone, not just the YouTube audience, but also the Facebook and Twitch audience that are tuning in. Remember that day trading is risky business. There's no other field that I know of, maybe besides, the people who play poker and they think that that's not gambling, because I think it is poker, There's no other field where you can lose money this quickly, right? Day trading, we're trading a strategy here, but even then we can still have days where there's a lot of chop and things are just not working out for us. And so we have to make sure that we limit our risk, limit our exposure, especially if you're new to the field. If you're new, it means you don't have a lot of experience. You might not be as competent as you need to be. And that's something that can come with time, months, and more commonly years. So keep that in mind and don't come into the market like the Terminator or Rambo or one of these guys, Chuck Norris. Take it slow, ensure that your tuition is low, and then once you start to see consistency over time, from there is where you can really look to, push it some more. Other than that, remember the live streams and recaps are never a reason to try and copy trade. It's all about learning the strategy or a strategy, whether it's mine or something else that's out there that works. And lastly, remember, I do not invest for my followers. What that means is that I'll never message you first. I do not use WhatsApp. I do not use Telegram. Be careful. There's a lot of fake accounts. Even yesterday, I saw that there's a fake account running an ad with one of the Team House videos. It's so bad that this stuff is happening, man. And the ad had 13,000 views. Even if it's just a 1% turnover ratio, people are wasting money towards things that are not even existing, right? Towards somebody in India in some basement or something. So you got to be careful out there, and you got to stay safe. It's so interesting, man, because even myself, the first Team House, right? I tried to run a simple ad myself. Facebook, Meta, they said, hey, there's no way. Nope, not gonna pass this, not gonna approve this. But then I see fake accounts using the same videos I try to use and running ads with it. You can just only imagine the madness that's going on here. What a world we live in, right? So stay safe, be careful. I do not use WhatsApp, Telegram, any of those fake apps. Stay safe, be careful. I'll never message you first. It's crazy out here in these streets, in these Wall Streets, man. The desperation of these scammers and the lengths that they're willing to take. Okay, that's a very long disclaimer there to start. Let's get into the watch list. There's only two stocks that I'm interested in, and there's not a lot that we're seeing today. Those two stocks are WENA and CDT. CDT, cheaper stock, up 136%. Maybe that's going to be the one, right? Up 136%, 116 million shares of volume. WENA is up 37% with 23 million shares of volume. Those are the only two that I'm seeing here that are pushing volume. So it's going to be one of those days where we can keep our eyes on the scans more so, right? The watch list is pretty short. We'll see if something maybe gets halted up and then, you know, takes off. And by the way, quick shout out to the Einstein on Wall Street, right? The guy who looks just like Albert Einstein. He was the guy that handed me this beautiful Dow Jones 38,000 point hat. So I'm definitely going to keep this hat here, you know, in my collection, right? The moment we were walking in, Marcelo, myself, you know, Crispy, some of the other guys, he's like, hey, you know, here's a few hats, right? Pretty nice guy. So shout out to him. Now I have this hat here, you know, sitting as I trade. So coming back to the watch list, WENA. By the way, we did have the alarm for screen recording. One more interruption here quickly. Screen recording, make sure your screen recordings are turned on. All right, all set. Yeah, coming back to the watch list, WENA, high of 173. The low of the pullback came down to 140. And right now we've been consolidating around the VWAP area 150. Looking at the daily chart, this one did give a move going back to June 26th. We went from 321 to 511. So I'm going to map out that high, 511. Typically, you don't see people, you know, watching the low of the candlesticks as much, but sometimes they do, right? So 321 could be an area to keep an eye on as well. We're currently at 150. If this breaks over 3, gets up to 310, 315, and there's just, you know, all of a sudden resistance, people could be shorting at the base of this candlestick, perhaps, right? Potentially, right? Sometimes that could be a possibility. So I'll put the high and the low, and I'll be patient here to see how this one plays out into the open. So WENA, we got a bit of a range, 140 to 170. Can we see this thing curl up here through $2 if possible? If that can happen, maybe we see some opportunities. And, you know, a trend has been recently a little bit of chop in the first like 5 minutes, a slow uptrend, and then around like 10:40, we've been seeing a stock pull away a little bit, open up some more. So that, you know, that's kind of what we've been seeing, but doesn't guarantee that's what happens today. So we still want to be reactive, keep an open mind. But, you know, just a bit of a heads up there. So moving on to CDT. 44 cents high point here today. And guys, as you're tuning in on YouTube, as you're tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. We do appreciate it. Helps us out big time. 315 for the 200 EMA on the daily. 315. So it's way ahead of us up there. I'm going to zoom in some more. On the 16th of July, we had a push up to, what was that, 41. So can we get back over the pre-market highs here? Can we get back over 41, 47 without any problems? It's kind of tight, and it seems like we broke over this level here smoothly. So I'd expect us to get back over 40, you know, and retest the pre-market highs. If this one can be strong, maybe this is where our profits can come today. Because again, it's looking pretty slow on the watch list. The watch list is looking very soft, as the Fed would say. They don't use the word weak, they say soft. So keeping an eye on the scans into the open, paying attention to these two stocks, taking it slow, and I'll see where it goes from there. Now, if there's something that comes, that ends up being very strong, like stronger than what we had yesterday, then I'm looking forward to sizing up and being aggressive. If not, we just want to stay mild, you know, keep to our game plan, keep to our style, and see what we can do here on this beautiful Thursday morning. So there's a minute and 38 seconds. You know, I do have a couple of my bullet points I can read over here. Again, if something is strong right away, more size early. I want to be patient for the dips and size down a little bit on the pullbacks. If stocks are strong, I want to give the breakouts a little more time to get that extra couple of cents. If not, I want to take the profits. I want to be aggressive towards all good opportunities. I want to pace myself throughout the day, aka longevity, making sure that I don't just max loss the first 10 seconds of the day, right? That would be madness, ludicrous. Got to take it slow, pace myself, right? Pace myself. Read the story that the market is telling me and adjust accordingly. Hey, this stock is too choppy. Okay, stop trading it. Hey, this stock is working out well. Okay, push it, right? Stuff like that. So, other than that, if a stock is not worthy at all, I want to stay on the sidelines. Another beautiful day at long last. I'm going to grab a bottle of water and it'll be time for the open. I can already see all the smiles on the traders' faces as they're getting ready here. CDT, share size, couple thousand shares to start. Couple thousand shares to start. 37.52 for the lows. There's 36.60. Tight stop here, trying to see if it curls. Can we get a little early something something? 38. High of the candle is 38.90. Seems a little slow so far. There's 35.10 as it's coming down a bit. There's some volume, but there's also some selling here. Which way is it going to go? 35.50. I want to see how it does if it gets to 35 again. 36, 35.60, 36. High of the current candle is 36.71. Now 37, 37.50. Not bad so far. There's a small bid. Will this help us out? Push over 37.50. Not quite. So watching the pullback here. A bit of a higher fill there on the ask. A little bit of a higher fill than I would like. Can we get over high of day? I might take it and then buy back in case it doesn't go. $38. It's having trouble 39. There's a bid. Can we push through? Can we see 41, 42? Not quite, not quite. Breakout trades here. We're seeing topping wicks on our 1 minute candle. Topping wicks. Not ideal. Not ideal. Can we push through this time? There's a massive wall. It might still go. Can we do it? 41. Is it holding? I'm going to add back aggressively here. Come on, come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. Talk to us nicely here. Take us to the moon. Take us to Pluto. I know Big Steve is looking forward to going to Saturn. Can we see some continuation here? I'm going to add back again if it wants to hold up. 38 though. I'm going to take the dip. 39, a little higher entry here, but can we bounce up? If not, it's just rejecting, so I want to keep this tight and bailing on it. Be careful of this going straight to low of day, because, you know, we've seen that yesterday. Low of day would be around 34 if it's like Titanic's. So I'm going to prep an order for 34. There's 35. Come on down. The price is right. Sink like the Titanic here for me. Oh, no. Come on. Okay, 33.60. Can we see 35? Can we see 35? Can we see 35? Come on, come on. All right, I'm going to get something there, but a little choppy because I ended up buying 34, thinking it wasn't going to come down all the way. Or let's say 35. Back in at 33 area, but higher fill 34. Out at 35. I'll take the 200 bucks. WENA. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Am I seeing a potential chance at a red to green? Or is this delusion talking to me here? If there's volume over this level, I'm interested. If there's volume over 44, I'm interested. Is this delusion or is this a red to green? WENA. Come on, talk to us nicely here. Allow us to have this dance. There's 47. Do I hear 50? Do I hear 50? Do I hear 50 from WENA? I'm going to add back over 52 if it goes. WENA. Talk to me nicely. Surprise us. There's a bid at 45 I'm going to add. But the bid is sold through. Come on. Held up the dip. I'm going to come back down in size for now. Waiting. Okay. 48. 50. 50. All right. Note to self. Take your 2 cents. Note to self. Sell for 2-cent gain. Because what was that? Come on. I tried to give it a chance to like go through and I'm gonna get blazed. Selling at 43 after 48 entry. Not good. Moving on. CDLX. How's this one doing? Seems like the float is not super high. CDLX. Is there something here? Let's see how the level 2 is looking. It's down 53%, so it's bouncing up after that sell-off yesterday. From $7. What was this, an offering or something? This is brutal. Well, as we know, day trading and investing, swing trading, it's all risky. Options trading, it's all risky business here. There's a lot of potential, but there's a lot of risk and equal, the opposites, right? The polar opposites. As much as we could make, hopefully we wouldn't lose the same amount because, we're managing risk, but still, you can definitely get caught from time to time. Bigger losses, stuff like that. Perfect time to sit on the sidelines because nothing is moving. Not even. How's the large caps? Just to not looking to trade them, but just a quick eye. Market's up 300 points. SPY, Tesla, Apple. Looking at the daily charts, really. Nvidia, I'm curious too. It seems like this pullback might last some time, but it's always hard to tell these days. But it seems like this pullback might last till like the election. Will we break the lows that we saw earlier this week? Perhaps. WENA, is it worth a trade here? 39. If it breaks down and reclaims this level, I'll be interested. $38, $37, $36, $32. And doesn't look like there's any reclaim coming. Halted stocks, OM. Is there anything else? Let me see what the chat is saying. INDO. How's the YouTube stream looking? Guys, don't forget if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch to hit that thumbs up. We do appreciate it. Right now we have 500 plus people watching on, but only 68 likes. Come on. You guys know you love some good old Relentless, man. I'm here every day putting on a show for the people. I'm transparent. Red, green, anything in between. Can we get up there to 200 likes? WENA is coming down. CDT, which was the main stock I had, pharmaceutical stock, selling off here. Although it seems like we're basing out, and maybe I can watch the lows here, 32 cents. Perhaps there's something here. I'm going to size down the 5K shares. If we do get over the high of the flag, which is around 34, 35, maybe we could start to see another uptrend. Someone saying the day RT has a no trade day is the day I will retire. And I mentioned it yesterday, like the criteria for us to take a trade, it is there's a whole checklist. Hold on, VSAT, volume, light, float high. Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's a criteria, there's a checklist that we want to go through before we take a trade. But it's somewhat easy for us to take a trade, right? The trades are so short term, they can happen so fast. The criteria can't be met very quickly compared to someone who might be swing trading and maybe waiting a week to find a good setup, So watching CDT, lows are at 32. We're inching up here. Honestly, over 34, I wouldn't mind giving it a chance to see if it does want to get through these highs. Okay. Okay. All that buying, we're not moving up. I should have held that first trade longer, but there's so much bidders, but we're not like pushing through 34.50. And this order is gonna get filled. It might come back up. But that's not what I wanted to see. After this trade, if it doesn't like get over 34, I'll ease off for a minute or two. If we can't get through the level here. Can we see 34.50? Come on. Holding only small size. And if it goes, I'll watch the pullback. Because it's lingering here, which, you know, I guess is not a bad thing. We'd love to see the 5-minute candle make a new high over 35. 33.50. There's 34.10. Can we see that acceleration here? Come on, we're so close. There's 34.50. 34.30. 34.10. There's a bidder at 33.50 of 65,000. So if it goes here, I'm hoping we can see a pullback because, you know, those trades, they're breakout trades. I don't want to be holding them forever. Trying to get the break of the high of the flag. 33.50, 33.20. $33. This better not be too early. Can I see a bounce back to 34? Didn't look at my fill, hoping it was at least somewhat decent. 33. Oh, my fill is in the moon, brother. That's ludicrous. Well, I guess I didn't really check the ask price there in that moment, but come on. It's like I want to go to these market makers and just give them two slaps. You know, sometimes what they do, they're trying to play you. Like they really try to play you sometimes. If I'm in lower, I keep holding here because there's, you know, but it's not going right away, and I'm in high, so the market makers will try to play you at time to times, Matt. You know, from time to time. Now it's a retest of the lows. What is it going to be at the lows? Small size again for me, 5K. If it breaks down, you know, we want to see an aggressive reclaim. If not, maybe just sells off. So far, we're seeing 32.70, 32.60, 32, 32.30, 32.20. Come on, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me, fill me. It should have been filled. It's actually doing much better than I thought here. It's pretty good. 33.80, solid. In fact, I think I'm gonna take profits. Are we gonna go all the way? I could buy back for the breakout, but I'll wait. Big level here. Do I go for it? Or do I wait? Are we gonna see a pullback here? Or is this thing gonna go all the way? I'll just be reactive. Whatever it does, fast star will be watching. A little late there, but here we go. Can we see something? Seeing a little bit of resistance here so far. Can we push through? Holding half. There's still a bid here. Come on. $33.70. Ugh, not great. That ask price did not drop. Hmm. We're not dropping, but where's the green? It's like I could have been in like 310s. I can try again here, but thinking we need more of a pullback. Oh, there's 34. There's a seller there, but INDO. Let me just see where I'm missing this thing. If it's good. It was called out earlier. 33.20. INDO up 10%. 389 for the highs. I'll try break of 4 if I see if it keeps going. $33.20, $34.40. Over 34 could work, but we need to see high volume in anticipation of the 1 minute candle making a new high. $33.10, 33. Can we see over 33.50? Well, over 34 and 34.50. This is not a bad place. I could try to add back here. I'm gonna try to add back if we can make the new high. If there's a lot of buying, I'll add back. But it needs to go through 34 immediately, and it'll be a breakout trade if it goes. I'm not gonna try to get married to it. Looking at INDO on the side of my eyes, not sure if that one is worth it. At least not yet. Seems like it did hold up that dip at 69. More green, good. Now push like there's no tomorrow. The wind, can we run like the wind here? Come on, come on. We got this. Big green on the tape, big green. Can we hold the line? I'm gonna add back again. Come on. Nothing is stopping us here. Good. Moon, 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 moon. Come on. Should have ripped through 35 right there. Kind of recycle the shares through the move. Come on, 35, 30, 36, 36, 36, 36. Nothing is stopping us here. Well, sellers are stopping us. Selling pressure, profit taking perhaps. Should be mooning, brother. I should size down. Take the dip. Not get overly aggressive at the highs. Got to read the story the market is telling me and take the right answers. I don't think we're seeing strong resistance. It seemed more like profit taking, so I'm still interested in this area here. 34.10. The ask price is dropping, which I like. I don't mind recycling these lower if I need to. But getting in. Can we see over 35? Tight stop here. 3/10 of a cent stop at 34 of the penny. And I'm out. I'm going to try again. We want to see 34.50 here. If not, maybe it needs more of a pullback. There's 34.40. Come on. Big green on the tape. Big green. 34.60. 34.80. I'm going to take half and then keep watching. More size. Do we need to come back down again? You know, we're still on this bear flag and we need to push through 35 to really be in the clear. To really be in the clear, we got to push through 35 to come out of the woods. And then even then, we got to hold above VWAP at 36. $34, 10, 34.20, bro. Come on. I gotta just sell those positions, man, because I had some lag and I had the highest fill there. Come on. Can we come down some more and hold up? I might have to take it high, which is such a disappointing entry here. It's more risky. It's not really ready. I'll aim for 34.40 if it looks really good. Come on. 50. It's not immediate. I'll try again at 50. 34. 34. Don't worry, Cactus. The pastor is fishing here. Just fishing. Just fishing. Fishing is all. With tight stops. Honestly, I think it has the potential to get over view up, right? We're not out of the woods by any means, but if it gains that volume here, we're very close. If it comes down below low of day, I'd watch the dip for a small bounce. $35, $36. Okay, maybe back on the sidelines for a couple of minutes. There's some selling pressure here. It needs to hold up. I'd rather not see a retest of the lows. So can we hold 33, 33.50 area? Here's 33.10. 32.80. Looks like it's low of day. Oh, looks like it's low of day. And yo, WENA. WENA can try again over 40 and 50. APPS. This is the high float one. Still, plus 275. I think this is a higher float stock that's moving. APPS. 5-day breakout at 74. 75 area. Currently it's 78. Couple cents over the highs. Man, CDT, I was hoping we can get the push through 36 of the VWAP, but nothing but depths. You know, it's slower market conditions. I've been read a lot these last like week and a half, so I'm trying to like be a little bit more nimble, a little quicker with the trades, just try to squeeze some sort of green. But on a day like today, man. So WENA, we'll see if that one gets over 40 and then, 50. But so far looking pretty slow. So just in case there's a new viewer out there watching on, um, I'm gonna go to single screen here for a sec. If this is your first time watching on, right? I do trade in an account that's over the PDT, meaning over 25,000. We need at least $25,000 cash in our accounts to be able to trade unrestrictedly. So we're trading in a, if you want, I don't know if I would call it a big account because I mean, it's relative, right? But we do this live every day. We do this live every single day without fail. In sickness and in health, in good or bad, in red or green, every day we come on here and we do our thing. And so far it's been a decent year, right? We've had our best year ever. We're up $180,000 on the year, which is absolutely splendid. Um, so hit that subscribe button, right? Consider checking us out. We have some other videos. We have some team house content. There's more to the community than just myself, right? There's the other guys like Marcelo, Tim, Triad. You got the team house members like Save, Calamity, Crispy. You got all the MMU students. So check us out, right? Check out the Discord, which is our chat room. That's where it's going down right now. The YouTube live stream chat is decent, but coming into that high level community, that's where the chat room really shines and shines bright. Yesterday I mentioned I was going to go in Gen 1. Today for sure I'm going to go in Gen 1. Once the live stream is done, I'm going to jump in there. So there's going to be like 20 of us hanging out, having a good time, chopping it up. Almost like a trading floor style. Right now the markets are dead, and so we're just taking it slow. Small caps right now are struggling. Even large caps, of course, also had to pull back recently. We might not see consistent, solid momentum maybe up until after the election, because it could be like this, for some time. And what usually happens, there'll be a day or two, maybe once a week where there's like something decent enough for us to do, solid on. Again, it doesn't really take a ton for us to be able to do well, especially for managing risk as we go. APPS does have a higher float, which is why I haven't really been looking at it, but we'll be able to see more of an uptrend here later in the morning. There are some traders in the Discord, in the chat room, saying today was a slow day and maybe they should just, sign out. Seeing some comments here. And someone else saying the day is over. George saying the day is over. Everyone turn off your screens. The day is still young, it's still early, and this is where we need to be very patient. CLSK, how's this one doing? CLSK. $11 stock, volume There's some volume. If there's a good pullback here, perhaps I can get involved with small size. 76. If it dips down some more, I'd watch here. But small size only, and I'd look for the high if they push. Other than that, I'll stay away from this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna get the dip. It's gonna get back to 76. The only reason I'd even consider a trade like this is because we just had a high day breakout where we had obvious resistance, and if we pull back into the support, I'd want to be in there with a tight stop. Let's say like, you know, mid to low 60s, and then can we get back to the highs? You know, entry of 63 or so, selling it like 80 would be nice, but it's not going to dip down. At least not enough. Moving on. For me to watch that type of stock, it needs to keep gaining volume and maybe break of 12 or something. Other than that, I don't see any entries. By the way, guys, there is a there's a new MMU website, and this MMU website is going to be catering towards our social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Just a heads up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like here, so that you're not surprised. And I think this is good transparency because, you know, of course, as we know, there's been fake accounts and stuff like that, so you guys can know what's real and what's not. If I can find the link. So this is the original website, all right? It's the original website, which you guys by now probably all know of. This is the original course website. And now there's also this one, which is designed for like social media. So just a heads up, so you guys don't think, oh my god, you know, blah 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 blah. So there's no panic, and there's full transparency, right? And you guys can feel free to check it out too. Well, yeah, these are the two websites, and you have myself right here, Pastor. I'll show this over here too, so it's in the recording. This is the other website. What I can do too is release this video here on YouTube. This is us, you know, expanding, right? Being innovative. Let me see something. If you guys have any questions in the YouTube live stream, in the Discord, you guys can let me know. I'm beginning to fall asleep, and if you guys have any questions, we can like maybe do a Q&A as we go here. Spend some money on the design for the website. It looks too scammy. Interesting take. Interesting take. Who's your favorite WWE superstar? The Undertaker, man. The Undertaker, without a doubt, is the greatest, the GOAT. He had so many moves in his arsenal compared to the guys like John Cena, who was decent, who was solid. The Rock, solid. But besides like rock bottom, the people's elbow, or the AA, you had the Undertaker had so many like finishes, the choke slam, the last ride, the tombstone. He had that tightrope walk thing he would do. I forgot what it's called. He had the big boot, snake eye, leg drop off the side of the ring. And then the entrance is like the best entrance. The lights going dark and him showing up behind you in the ring. It's just he was number one for me, man. RT, would you be able to start the feed from pre-market? Ronald, I want to ask you why. All right, let me know like the reasons. Okay, let me just keep an eye on the scans too. And of course, I'm pretty sure, what if something doesn't move, it'll be called out right here too. RT, would you consider trading pre-market? There are a lot of opportunities someday, and yeah, there are days where stocks are doing 100% move in pre-market. Some of the other guys like at the Team House, Save, Beam, they love to come in a little early, 20 minutes, 30 minutes early, and try to get green right away. But I tried it before. I didn't really have a lot of success. I felt like the strategy is best taken advantage of after the open. But back then, I'd use my DAS platform way more, utilizing the offsets, the marketable limit orders. I would say that I wasn't super consistent in terms of like duration and time. Like I tried it for like a month and a half straight, but in that time, the market just wasn't really that hot, you know? I did notice there was one type of stock that I could do very well on, and it's the stocks that trade with as much volume as they would trade with at and after the open. I realized that on those stocks in pre-market, I could do basically like same amount. So I do think I leave some money on the table. LODE. I mean, it's pulling back into the lows here. 21. I'm gonna miss the dip. 21. Why not turn it on an hour early? But I'm asking you guys, like, why? All right, why? I need great reasons. You have to convince me. Because I don't trade pre-market. If I'm gonna turn it on early, I can, right? I definitely can, but I kind of need to know like why I should. Like I'm not asking to like to be a fool or anything. I'm asking because I. And Seed, I think this question came in yesterday, and I missed it. Is trading harder now than overall? I would say the answer for me is no. I don't think that trading is necessarily easier, but I I have more confidence now, so it's I kind of show up and like I know what to expect, especially if there's like a strong stock and like a consistently hot market. I've been on the softer side recently, but we can turn it on. We can definitely turn it on, right? Pre-market is where most of the moves are happening. Trading isn't harder though. It's just the market cycles and the opportunities. You go back to a month like February, so many traders had their best month ever. You ask yourself if that's coincidence. If that same condition come back today, I think at the end of the month we'll be saying the same thing, which is so many traders had their best month ever, right? So it kind of comes down to the sentiment, the opportunities, your willingness to be aggressive, all these different factors come into play. MARA, which I think is a gold stock. Am I right? MARA. I know this stock. In fact, it's one of the first stocks I ever traded when I started. This is not the type of opportunity for me though. Or Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. It's MARA, RIOT, and like a few other ones. John's saying it's harder with the knowledge he knows now. During COVID, he would have crossed 1 million for sure. I have to, I mean, I'd have to like, but I don't know if you want to say harder, more opportunities, and harder is like it's a different like two different things, right? If the opportunities are abundant and plentiful and frequent, you still need to be skillful to make money because there's still so many people who lost money throughout that time. And I mean, some days the momentum can be so volatile that like even an experienced trader can end up losing money, right? So I don't know if I'd use the word harder, but more so a point in time where there's more opportunities versus a time where there's less. What we're doing is just hard regardless, so you have to be firm. Trading was hard yesterday, trading will be hard tomorrow. you know Even on the good green days, there's always a fine line. Still not seeing much. I'm going to take a quick look through the watch list stock to make sure nothing is curling up. Let's see. Positions, WENA, no good. CDT on the lows. I was mad. I really wanted to see that one push through 36 cents, but once I saw it coming down, that was it. Ronald saying the day is a weaker day and an account killer. There's 300 plus people watching. The main thing is to stay disciplined. If you're having a rough day, just remember that you are in control. Do all the right things to ensure success. Do what's necessary. Whether it means taking a break, stepping away, shutting it down, or sizing down, whatever it might mean for each of us individually. Let's take the right course of action to give ourselves longevity. There's no reason anybody here should be blowing up an account today. That's not what we're here to do. Break of 24 on LODE. 2380. 2430. Do I want to prep an order here? $23.90. what's holding it back from 25. I could try 24.30, 24.50 area with a tight stop if it wants to go here. Great fill. Now take me to the moon. 25. All right, I should have took more size. That's going to be a great trade. I'm going to get a full cent. High of day, the 26 area. High 25.80. I'm watching the ask price here too because I refuse to get those high fills. Do I want to try back over 25? I will. Can we see 26? See, that's the thing when I'm in so high, it's like it needs to go. I can't really give it time because I'm not in on the dip there. It doesn't seem like it's ready, but it's inching up though. There's 25.50. Okay. The breakout seems like it could be worth it, but you know, gotta keep a tight stop if I'm gonna try it here. Here we go again. Come on, there's a massive bid. Then there's massive sellers. Not ideal. If that seller didn't come, we could have done well. It's still trying. Can we get to 27? We're breaking the pre-market highs. Come on. 70, 50. I'm gonna buy back. Should have done if that seller didn't come in, man, that could have been a great position. Oh, 24.60. 24.99. Kind of botched the dip there. I'm looking for a cent out of this trade. Can I see 26? I might need to re-average. Not dropping. Okay, waiting for a bigger pullback. 60. Is that it? Okay, I should have jumped in there perhaps. 60. No, it's still here. 60. We're gonna come down a little more. Son of a gun, it's like just failing. 2380. It's just selling off. 24. All right, cool. Scratch trade. E for effort. Back on the sidelines. Back on the sidelines. More like a cup and handle pattern here after that pullback. So still got to keep an eye though. We can keep pushing up for sure. Yep. So it's like I ran out of mental capital when we actually got to the bottom. I needed to buy back one more time. Mm. And that's a solid entry though if you can get it, because whether you sell half and hold or just hold the entire thing, it's a, unless it kind of comes down again and breaks those lows, 23.56, which it actually is already doing. That's why I like to sell half though, right? After that first initial pop, because sometimes you just, right, if I'm holding that entire thing for the move back to the highs, just like that, I'm stopping out flat. Hopefully not for a loss, but flat. But if you sell half at least, but you're getting that cent and a half of gain, which is at least something. On the sidelines again. Oh my gosh, what? Keep it classy, guys. Keep it classy in chat. Keep it classy. What are you guys adding each other on Xbox or something? I told myself I'm not gonna buy the new PlayStation until the new Grand Theft Auto game comes out. Gaming to the depths. When I reach the stage where I'm wealthy, then I'll start to game again. I haven't really been gaming at all in the last like 5 years compared to what I would call gaming back when I was younger. Over the last 5 years, like very casual stuff every once in a blue moon. I don't think I touched the game in like maybe like 8 months. Yeah, like it's. But before that, maybe once every like 3 weekends or something, like for an hour. I don't know. It can be fun, but it's also a waste of time if you're not like already wealthy. So even if I try to go on a game, I just start to feel guilty that I'm not like doing something more constructive, and this thing is selling off. Well, I don't know if gaming is for kids. I wouldn't say that. I think adults can game too, but you know, everything needs to be done in moderation. You can't be there just gaming all day with responsibilities. Or if you have a purpose or a goal or something, but some people do it if they have like a free time, an extra 30 minutes or something. I used to be a heavy gamer in the past, so I know it can be fun. I played like Grand Theft Auto, first person shooters like Call of Duty, and of course the classics, right? I think everybody might have at least touched the classics, the Super Mario, stuff like that. Mario 64 was pretty good. Some of the classics. Michael, the guy, the trading farmer, can bleep about us and their friends. Yeah, farmers a very strange case. Very strange case, man. When I'm up here, I always talk nicely about people, right? And what I can say about farmers is that the guy is a good trader, solid trader. But from there, the depths, the depths, brother. I gave the backstory on us like a couple of months ago. I mean, it's such a slow day that I can give the backstory again here if you guys want. He brings it up every day. John, take it easy in the chat, brother. Gotta keep it classy. Gotta keep it classy. Michael saying don't even mention him. Misery loves company, man. Some people love drama. Is what it is. But that's a sad situation, to be honest. I don't know if there's like mental health stuff or anything. I don't know, but that's the world we live in today, right? No, but in terms of the word beef, there's no beef. I don't have beef with anybody. Like I'll say this, right? Where I live, I see what beef is, like as in like street life stuff, like Bloods, Crips, like gangs. Like I see what beef like is. Like I don't have beef. Like not at least by what I think beef is. Beef is dangerous stuff, man. There's people around here where I live where it's like they've been brainwashed into thinking these colors that they wear mean something, and it's just a terrible cycle of violence. So I don't have beef. I'll start by saying that. I'll start by saying I don't have any beef, but in terms of like a quick backstory, right? A day I'm on YouTube and I see a recommendation for trading farmer. So I click on the video and I thought it was pretty cool. And on top of that, I watched maybe like 5 minutes, and there happened to be a trade that we both took on the same stock, same day, same time, like the same like type of trade, which was a breakdown and reclaim entry, like a bottoming wick kind of thing. And I'm long in there, 2,000 shares, and this guy saw took 20,000 shares. I thought that was pretty cool. So I made a video and I was talking about share size back then a lot, like sizing up and like the importance of why after being consistent, if you put more size, you can like be, like you can potentially make more money. And we hear guys like Warrior Trading, Tim Sykes, Humble, all these people, they'll talk about sizing up and stuff like that too. But anyhow, I ended up making a video and I gave him a shout out. So I'm like, hey guys, check him out. Let him know that Relentless Trader sent you over. Mind you, I don't know this person at this time at all. But it's kind of like a gesture, like a nice gesture that I did after seeing the video. That's how we kind of like knew each other, right? From there, he reached out to me and asked like to do an interview for his channel. So like I guess his people can maybe know me, right? But at the time, I think I can't remember the numbers in subscribers and stuff. But of course, like I was like the bigger channel, so I was like, cool, that's fine. The guy seemed like a normal person, so it wasn't a problem at all. We did an interview. I think he might still have the interview on his channel. I don't know, but we did an interview. We spoke about like trading and like it was a good interview, to be honest. Like, it was a decent interview. It was a good stuff. From there, he joined the Relentless Trading Discord. And the first there's people who, like, right away you could kind of tell a little bit about who they are. And this is the gesture I realized, right? So, okay, he joined the Relentless Trading Discord and would just come in, post a P&L, and leave. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give him a chance to, like, maybe just hang out, conversate with the people. But then that continued to happen. I never said anything to him, but I did tell the other guys. Like, I remember during our first team house meetup, I'm like, man, this is kind of, weird to do as an individual, to just, join the community. This is after the interview, to just post a P&L and leave. But I'm like, yeah, whatever, cool, no problem. Then here's when things really gets weird. So Marcelo and I, we made it we made the MMU course, and there's a day this guy just, out of the blue, is like just talking smack about us. This, I don't know where it came from. I'm guessing there's like some sort of envy because we did a course or something. I don't know. If I had to guess, this is just me speculating, right? Speculation. So I can't really say with certainty, but if I had to guess, I'm kind of just guessing here. But once we made the course, there was just like some banter and like bad talks about us and the course. Mind you, this is somebody that we did the interview with. I think Marcelo, he also reached out to Marcelo for an interview. We dodged a real bullet, because we even invited him to a team house. Thank God he didn't go, because I mean, Jesus Christ. If he's doing what he's doing now, imagine if this guy came to a team house or something. My goodness. Jeez. That would have been like a nightmare. But anyhow, after the course came out, he was making some weird, like, comments, so we kind of just eased him off. And naturally, as we did that, we started to, like, focus more on ourselves and our community. So we left other communities. We left his community, or I should say Marcelo left his community, because I was never in there. But there's other YouTubers too that, like, we kind of just eased off from. You can see, like, Marcelo even left, like, Warrior Trading, like, stuff like this is like a whole thing, right? We kind of just eased off of other communities, Warrior Trading, all that stuff like that, right? Marcelo, as you guys know, is a Warrior Trading student, right? Former Warrior Trading student. He even met up with Ross at one point, which was actually pretty cool. But yeah, after that, it's like this guy just became weird. So we just distanced ourselves, and imagine that that's the story. And this guy is doing what he's doing every day. Imagine that that's the story. So when you say, like, there's weird people in the world, right? That's the story, brother. So when people say beef, like, there's no beef. It's just somebody who's just a weird individual. I don't know what angle they're trying. It doesn't make sense to me, which is why I don't talk about it, because there's just nothing there. There's no beef. There's no problem, at least not with me. And I understand the psychology of this world, right? I've been a YouTuber for a long time. There's going to be people who will come, who will say great things about you. There's people who's going to come and say terrible things about you. The moment that you decide to put yourself in the public's eye, this is something, it's like an unwritten contract, just like with trading. The moment you decide to be a trader, you have to sign a contract essentially with yourself, saying, I'm open to accepting risk, from the market in XYZ ways. And just like with being a professional person online, an online personality, whether it's with social media, YouTube, an artist, a singer, the moment you decide to go into the public, you have to accept that there's going to be people who are good people who will come and, like, kind of respect what you're doing. And there's going to be people who just, for whatever reason, don't like what you're doing. And that's completely fine. So understanding that, like, there's no problem for me, We're big chilling. We are big chilling. But yeah, so imagine that's the story, and you have somebody acting how they're acting. It's beyond me. So what I think, maybe it's like there's some sort of like mental something, or I don't know. Speculation. So that's like a quick backstory there. Yeah, Marcelo and Tim are warrior trading students, former warrior trading students. And even like with the claim that this guy makes that like we all learned from him, it's just pretty silly stuff. Like we don't use the active trader ladder like at all. Like we use level 2. Like, I can share my screen here. We use level 2, right? This screen here is level 2. Like we're level 2 traders. We use dash trading. We sometimes use the dash trading hotkeys. Like there's just no merit. Like even if you want to say, if you're to try to make an argument for him, right, it doesn't make sense because like we've been here since 2018, 2019, trading this style of trading since then. It's just like, come on. The only difference between me now and me before is like share size, right? And we've showed our trader view so many times. We went from trading 60,000 shares of volume a day to now trading over 500,000 shares of volume. Right? Share size is a pretty big thing. Like the more shares you're willing to use as a consistent trader, the better you'll become in terms of like money, like P&L wise. So for me in the beginning, like I started off in the negatives, and it's why as a trader, you can't really make these parallels. Like you can't really compare people to yourself. Like to the day I die, I'll say that I'm the best trader that I know because the situation that I'm coming from and the stuff that I deal with, bro, like you people would never know what's really going on with what I do like on a daily basis. So, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? I could say that and somebody could still say, "Ah, that's not true," which is fine, right? So, but with what I see, with what I know, with what I'm dealing with in my surroundings, it's a miracle that I'm even here to do this. Like this in itself is like freaking like lottery. Like to be honest, like the average person who looks like me, who is my age that I'm around right now, if I'm to make a vlog, maybe one day I might, right? If I'm to make a vlog and go around and show you guys all the people that look like me, that's my age, that are male individuals. It's just depths, 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 depths. So, to the day I die and beyond, I'm the best trader I know, right? And so share size is a pretty big thing when it comes to being able to make more money from the markets. The big share size. You hear guys like Marcelo saying it. In extension, you hear a guy like Ross Cameron saying it for years, right? What is the depths? The depths is the bottom, brother. The gallows, the bottom of the seven seas. But I mean, it's what it is, like that's the reality, man. Like coming from the slums, starting off with negative 25K in debt, being, rising up through the ranks as a trader, taking it slow in the beginning because you have no choice. If I blow up my account, then I'm essentially at risk of being the next statistic. From negative 25K in debt to being able to make 180 grand in a year, brother. Come on, talk to me nicely. Big Steve, tell him to talk to us nicely. But yeah, like with the team house stuff though, like, with the team house stuff, MMU, the community and all this stuff, I mean, there's gonna be people who will try us, right? I don't think this is the first, and sadly, it's not going to be the last. Which is why we ultimately have to protect ourselves as traders when it comes to risk, and as entrepreneurs and businessmen, because I'm pretty sure there's something else is going to come up from somebody else at some point, right? And there's a lot of risk too, because, and it's why I go over to the disclaimer every day. Like, I started off this live stream by saying that yesterday I found a fake account that is running an ad with one of the team house content. Like, just imagine how much risk that alone is. And this stuff is hard to control. So, you know, as we're reaching out to Meta and all these other platforms to like get these people reported and banned and taken down, and hopefully pursue some sort of legal, like some sort of legal punishment for them. You know, these are things that are happening every day, right? There's things we can control, there's things we can't control, and you know, and this is not even the first time this has happened. This is like the second or third time, and this is from what we've seen and what we've noticed. This is what our team has noticed. What about the stuff we haven't seen, right? Again, this is somebody who's running an ad with a team house content video clip. Like, you know, all the small 1 minute clips that I'll post. A lot of those videos go viral. So the person, they stole the video, they're running a clip with it, they're running an ad with it. And, you know, it's why I'm telling people that we do not use WhatsApp, Telegram, all these apps. We'll never reach out to you first. So that we got to be very careful. And, you know, again, it's kind of what the world is, right? Wherever you go, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad, sadly. You know, it's just life. Yin and yang, black and white, good and bad, good and evil. It's part of the deal. So for anybody out there who might be considering going into the public's eye in any way, shape, or form, you have to be ready. You have to be you have to be ready, you have to be willing, and in fact you have to embrace it, because you know, we channel this, and we just utilize it as more positive energy. So, you know, even now we're already smiling in the face of the next adversity, because it's only a matter of time. You know, just like with trading, we said earlier trading was hard yesterday. Guess what? Trading is going to be hard tomorrow. So right now we're already smiling, knowing that we can prevail with our hard work and our discipline. Hard work and discipline. And this is why they call us the pastor, because, you know, we start to preach. We start to preach. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, in terms of how I learned how to trade, though, I mean, I watched all the free content that there was to watch, including Ross, Humble. Um, a lot of people forget about Clay Trader. That Clay Trader is a big, when it comes to guns, too. Like, Clay Trader loves his guns, man. I used to watch him, too. He's also one of the first people I like kind of saw. I watched a lot of John, and to this day, I still watch John. John at Beginner Trading. John is a good guy, man. Almost every day I'm listening to him to this day. Back when he used to have Mitch on the channel and they used to be day trading. Now he's more like large cap and in like investment market data, but I always enjoyed watching John at Beginner Trading as well. John is a pretty cool guy. But yeah, I watched everybody, man. A little bit of Tim Sykes, all this stuff, like, and then from there just trial and error. Technical analysis, you know, Ross had some great videos on technical analysis, stuff like that. BWAP, all this stuff. My trade style is different from them though, because most of these other traders, they hold long, like pretty long, right? And in the beginning, I found myself like holding in trades, and a lot of the time, just like this trade, in fact, it's very similar to what we saw in this candlestick on is this, which stock was it? The other stock. Let's pull it up. CDT. Was it, where was this entry? Hold on. Was it CDT or was it the other one? And anyhow, I'll just explain what I'm talking about. There'll be so many days where you're in on a good entry and you're holding for a target price. Let's say you're in at 5, just to paint a picture. You're in at 5 and you're looking for the stock to go to like 525, 530 to sell. But there's so many days where I'm in at 5, the stock goes to 506, 509, and then comes down to my entry and like teleports down 15 cents. I didn't even get a chance to sell break even. So many days where this keeps happening, and it's like, man, why not just sell at every point where the stock runs into resistance and then buy back immediately if it wants to continue to go, right? So with this style, the progression is in at 5, out at 507 where we had resistance. If it continues, I'm back in at 8 or 9, and I'm now selling again at 19 if we're seeing more resistance, back in at 20, and then back out at 30 again, right? Rather than risking leaving that amount of cents on the table, let's say where we run into that resistance in the first example from 5 to 507, leaving 7 cents on the table. Why do that when I can just take the gains, right? So that's how we kind of like started. And then I realized, man, now the next step for me is to be green, to be highly green with commissions. This is like 2019, like 2018. Like the next step is, can we do this with commissions? The idea for me was to use more share size. That's where I was heading. Like, time to be super aggressive to see how well this can work. This is like back in the simulator, like in 2018, 2019. And then, you know what? 1 month of me doing this, I woke up and the next day, commission's gone to 0. I still have that video somewhere in my I'd have to like dig down in there to find that video where I was talking about how commissions going to 0 means I'm now profitable and don't even have to back test anymore, right? I don't need to change anything in terms of sizing up aggressively to now get green after commissions. It's like, yo, I'm green right now. That day I started that I was already saving for the 25K, but that days I started going hard to get that 25 grand, man. Like, I started filling out applications, all the stuff you'll do on the backside to try to like get the loans. Because I'm like, man, I'm a profitable trader, and I've been a profitable trader for 3 months, right? How can we go? How can we go up in size? How can we get to green with commissions? Right, was the question, and I thought about going up in size. Month later, 2 months later, whatever it is, commissions are gone. We trade, we're still green, green, green. It's to the point where I'm wishing I was in the live account already, because I'm having these beautiful green months and they're in the simulator. Now I'm still learning, I'm still gaining experience, but of course you want it to be in a live account. Here's 5 grand that's gone to, like, going straight to experience, but not the cash. If we can have the going to experience and cash, even better, right? Like how it is now, right? Like this $200, I can draw this out to my bank account right now. I still have to account for taxes, of course, but so that was the like the start of it. Farmer is upset because he's getting no credit from MMU's success. But see, that's the thing. Like, what does he have to do with MMU? There's no correlation or connection there. We were already making money before we even knew this guy existed. It just doesn't make any sense, right? If this guy wants, well, here's what this guy has to do, right? This guy has to first start off by apologizing to us for all the nonsense he's doing, right? If he really wants to be a part of the team house, there's no chance he would be a part of the team house, but he could at least, that's what he could do to start, to apologize to us and let the people that's following him know that he's just on about nothing, right? Speculation and stuff, but people they don't want to see you win. And you know what they say, man. If you don't have any haters, you're not popping, right? If you don't have people who don't like you, then you're not doing something right. Unfortunately. But it's all about hard work, and anybody can do what we're doing. You just have to just have a game plan and just go hard every day. And people will see it, man. If you're genuine and you're kind hearted, people will see it straight. And people will naturally gravitate to you. And that's exactly what's happening here on the YouTube stream, in the Discord, and in MMU, and the social media like TikTok and all these platforms, is that our content is very raw. Like, I don't post like how other people post, because like I look at this like I look at it from a consumer's perspective too. Like, there's some stuff that's just so rigid. It's not that it can't work, because there's different personality of people. It's why you have a guy like Tim Sykes. It's why you have a guy like Ross Cameron, who you can say the way how they advertise is very different. You could tell their personalities. Like, the way how I post is just very like raw. It's just so raw. You'll be able to tell who I am very quickly. Like, we're not hiding anything here. Like, it's the real deal, right? If you go take one quick look at that page, at the YouTube page, and the like all the other like the outside content that's not just day trading stuff, like, you'll see, like, yeah. Pastor preaching. Yeah, I think Ross is pretty transparent. But what I'm saying is that, like, Relentless is a different level of transparency. Like, I'll say this to you guys. You'll never know what Ross's wife looks like. That he would never show that, right? Ross would never show that type of thing, because for him, he has like a line where he doesn't want to cross. Like, certain things he's gonna keep private. Relentless trader is different. I'm not like, when I was with my ex girlfriend, like, I made that vlog. That, like, there's nothing that I wouldn't show, as long as it's not like a security threat in like an obvious way. Let's say, like, of course, like your address, your banking, your password, stuff like. Of course, we can't share that, but I'm not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna stop it, like, like that. Like, no, I'll show everything. Something like that, it can't hurt me at all. So it's like even more. It's like even more transparency, right? And Earth Explorer says, "Okay, how old are you?" Because I never really say my exact age. You see, the thing is with my age is that it's like a security question and stuff like that, right? But if somebody's out there who's looking to really like hack me, they can find my age pretty easily. The pastor is in his mid 20s. The pastor is 26, 35. Oh my good God, I'm not that old, man. The pastor is 26 years old. And get ready, I'm gonna give you my address next. Here's my address: 123 Relentless Avenue. Search it up on Google. You'll find me. The most of the YouTube audience is pretty mature. Social security number too, please. You know what? I was in was this in high school? I can't remember what grade I was in. It might have even been before high school. So there's this girl I thought was like pretty cute, right? So I kind of, I think we were in the auditorium. I think we were in an auditorium. And she's like maybe like two rows down. And I'm like I try to, spit some game, and I ended up asking her for her number. So she took a paper and everything. She wrote it down. Man, this was like a pretty like cold moment, man. So Pastor was feeling pretty good. I'm like, yeah, man, I got these digits. I looked at this thing, and this thing was like 911 three times. Man, that was like a pretty that was like a pretty cold moment. I was like, damn, you gotta take that. I gotta take the L and hold what I got. Gotta take the L and keep it pushing, man. In the depths that day was in the depths. The Riz was not rizzing. Nah, these days it's different though, man. These days, once you know the game, man. But you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined individuals because again, too much of anything isn't good. Without discipline, what are we? Right? What's a man without discipline? What's a man without discipline? We're gonna shut it down in a little bit. EBS, it's moving up, but lighter volume. Not my cup of tea. EBS, slow uptrend. Same as trading. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to the next Team House meetup though, but before then, it might be right before or a little after. We're gonna do an in-person meetup slash seminar. It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna release more details on that coming up soon, but the next Team House meetup is also gonna be a good time. We're thinking we might want to do Spain. So if we do go to Spain, Lucas will reach out to you. Is Lucas still here? Let me see. If we do Spain, we're gonna reach out to Lucas, but we're not sure yet, right? There's still like a couple of other options. The states are still so big. I mean, we did a couple of states, so we can still do a new location, or we can perhaps do Mexico or somewhere else, maybe the Caribbean. As long as we research and there's decent Wi-Fi, and we usually like months ahead of time we'll like make sure all this stuff is we'll make sure all this stuff is like set up. We always ask for like the internet speed test and everything like that. Trading at 3:30 p.m. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem. We just have to make sure to plan around the market open, right? As long as it's not Hawaii and it's 3 a.m., then we'll be fine. If we go there, we might not even trade at all, right? It all depends. We might not even trade at all. It has to make sense, right? Has to make sense. Come to Israel, take it to Iraq. Dubai sounds nice. Maybe I wouldn't mind going there. When I first started trading, how negative did I go? Um, I was red 4,500 real money. And then let me sign into my old TraderView account. Sign in. I think I was red. I was red like 4,500. Then I switched to the sim. Let's see, win loss expectation. This new trader view. Minus 4K. And then I switched over to the sim, where I then went green 2,500 and then red 3,400. So wherever this P&L stops here, you minus like 4K to 4,500 from it. And I was trading very like slow. Like my very first year, I did not know about a cash account. I had, I think, 10,000 in the account or 9,000 or something like that. And I was taking 3-day trades every 5 business days. Every week, I was taking 3 trades a week for a year. That's my first year. This is why if I could go back in time, I think I'd be able to become profitable in like way less time. In like way less time, I would have been able to become profitable, because if I had went to the simulation earlier and been able to trade unrestrictedly since day one, basically, like I would have been able to build more experience faster. I think I would have been able to come to the conclusion of taking more trades sooner. I mean, it would have been interesting to see how it would have turned out. But anyhow, the story is the story. Sometimes it has to be the way it is, right? But yeah, so we ended up pushing up. So we ended up going down $6,000 drawdown here. This is just me. Even some of this here, my first like week in the simulator, I was doing a bunch of nonsense. Wasn't treating it real. Buying into halts that are already halted up, like just a bunch of nonsense. And then I said to myself, well, if I'm not willing to take this seriously, then I need to just stop trading right now and then go back to school, because what I'm doing here is not making any sense. I'm not being realistic. I'm not being disciplined. We just mentioned what is a man without discipline, right? And if I'm not capable of taking the simulator real, then I have no business trading. I don't even deserve to be in front of a computer screen. If these are the conversations I had with myself. If I can't take the simulator seriously, I have no business trying to become a trader. Because at the time, my account got hit with a PDT. I went over 3 business trades too many times. They gave me a forgiveness, I think, once or twice. There's a day I came in, there's like a holiday. My trade didn't settle, something like that. I ended up trading. My account was gone to the depths for 90 days. I'm like, all right, time to go to the simulator. Got to the simulator doing a bunch of nonsense. Had that conversation with myself. And from there, it was just serious business. Serious business, man. In May, tightening up. And this is me blowing up. This was like a terrible sequence. Like, this was me showing up and like just doing all the wrong things. Like, sizing up, averaging down, like all the nonsense you could think of was this like 2 months right here. Or like month, I think like a month, May month 2019. And it's like, man, I can't. I think this is the, was it here or was it, I think 2 times. It was twice in my career where I kind of like, I don't want to say I was crying, but for sure tears was coming out of my eyes, right? This time, and I think 21 or 2020 October. But this time for sure was like a pretty impactful time. This is where I became green. This month. Sat in the backyard, a classic story that you guys know so much, on a hammock in the backyard at the time, and just like asking myself, like, who am I? Who am I, and am I capable? This trading stuff is crazy, man. Like it'll make you look in the mirror. Like if you think you're invincible, if you think you can come in here as like as whoever, superhero, Superman. All right, the market's is gonna say, all right, we got one. He thinks he's the bleep. He thinks he's, and then you get humbled so quickly. You start to find yourself in situations and you're doing things that you never thought you would have done. And then you have to look at yourself in the mirror. Or maybe you might have to face a significant other. These are like it forces you. And then the thing is that's so crazy. If you do not make the change, it'll keep forcing you into the same situation over and over. And I started to feel like I was insane. And I said, man, that's the day that I decided I'm not going to lose the battle against myself. That's what was happening to me. I was losing the battle against myself here. And it's just like, man, I'm not going to allow this to happen. Starting Monday, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do all the right things that it takes to be successful. And from that day forward, from that day, we've just been straight up trending. From this day here in that backyard that time, we've just been uptrending. That was the day I decided I'm not gonna lose against myself. And it's also why I try not to go too crazy, because you know I don't want to be in that type of place, man. If you ever fall to that place, you're at the mercy of the markets. And as you guys know, the markets are merciless. It was a brutal journey, but all those things are necessary. And when you're in this place, when you're in that place of doubt, frustration, anger, you have to remind yourself of who you are. And if you're a winner deep down, you must challenge yourself. And this is when I gained the mindset of looking forward to being in the same situation again. All right, you got me. You have to accept it. You have to accept it. All right, I did that. I messed it up. But don't worry. You're rubbing your hands together. You're smiling. It's like you're about to go eat a nice, beautiful plate of food or something. Your favorite meal is coming up next. And if you if you want to use the word beef, now you can say, all right, me and you, we meet each other again. And this time, I'm not going to lose the battle against myself. This time, I'm going to do all the right things in this situation to eliminate this problem. And before you know it, you're rising up like a gladiator, man. You're rising up like Hercules. And then you're pushing through. You're not phased by consolidation or even a small pullback or drawdown, but you're pushing through. You're keeping it tight. You're pushing through. A bigger drawdown here, 3.4. This is when 2020 June 2020. But then you build back, and then into this next month here. Actually, was this June? Why is it 06, 19? Yeah, 06. So this is June, and then coming into the next month, I think some of this might have already been the live account. I think I might have been importing to both at some point, whether by mistake or I don't know. Because at May 1st, I think is when the live account started. May 1st of 2020 is when I transitioned. And at that time, I'll have half the screen covered for like chats, for the chat or the scanner or something. And on Thinkorswim, this Schwab thing here has like the orange outline, right, going around it for the simulator. It's like for weeks, months, there's people who didn't even, I put out a video saying I was going live. There's people who didn't even know that I was live up until like October, December. Some people February of the new year. The transition was seamless. If I sign into the simulator account right now, my screen is still the same. It's still, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, daily, the 5. Like it's the same layout. I have these same scanners over here. Everything is like the same. So when I transitioned to the live account and I stayed disciplined, it was like no there's no drawdown, there's no nothing. You know, I understood that I'm going live and that I don't need to put any excess pressure on myself. It's just another day of me being disciplined towards the opportunities and the patterns that I know and love. And you know, if I pull up the live account here, I have to log in. Now to log in, let me pull this over to the side, sign out, sign back in. Man, this new trader view is just in the depths. Where do I even go to sign out? Sign in. Calendar. Reports. Um, what is it? Detailed. I have like this new trader view. I'm telling you, man. Detailed. Win loss expectation. And since from that 20,000, you take out another 4K because we had the drawdown coming into that account. That I don't know what happened to that. Either I didn't have trader view. I think I didn't have trader view. I was using Excel, and sadly I lost access to that account. I used to use Excel to keep track of my stats, and it was easy because I was only taking 3 trades a week, right? But yeah, you know, the slow and steady, gradual, you know, incline. All of this time, you know, I'm in debt of 25K. Around this time is essentially where I'm like, okay, I'm at a place where I've made back my loan balance, and at this time, instead of paying off the loan, I still think to this day it wasn't the right move. I invested into something else rather than paying off the loan that I thought could have yielded a better income, right? A better percentage versus that loan amount. And it didn't go according to plan. And so I was stuck paying the loan, the interest on the loan rather, which was brutal, man. So I basically had to make another 25K in this time. And it's a slow approach. I'm like, I can't afford to blow up. Despite having the account doubled in size really from that time of starting, it's like I'm still going slow because I understand how delicate we are. And at the time there's people blowing up left and right. Right? It's like it's happening. Until finally, man, I think coming into the end of 2021, I think it was March. I don't know. I can't remember the exact time. I'm trying to think. I know it was winter time, I think. I think it was winter time that I was able to pay off that loan, or summer. I don't know. But anyhow, I finally paid off the loan. Like I made a lump sum payment off the loan. And at that point it's like, okay, now this money here is mine, and I can move a little bit more aggressive. And it's like, okay, sizing up, sizing up, sizing up, sizing up is the talk every day. And then slowly but surely, we start to be able to put a little bit more size behind it, man. And I think we can still put more size. We can definitely still put more size. You know, when we get to next February again, I think we can definitely do 100,000, maybe 150,000 in a month. I think those numbers are definitely there. Even throughout that month, I didn't even go as hard as I could with the size I was using. Like one of those days, I was out there shoveling snow for the neighborhood as stocks are flying up and down. That day, I probably could have tripled that day, and that was like a $5,000 day or more. But yeah, 5,000. I think like 5K. But that day, I could have tripled or quadrupled that day. But I was out there. It's like I kind of have to go because, and this is where you have to pay people to do things because, all right, there's risk of somebody slipping and falling here, right? This is where you just say, okay, I'm gonna pay somebody $200 to do this thing and stay here and trade where I can easily make way more than $200, right? That's the mindset you have to have once the money is worth it. right? You can't utilize your time elsewhere. You have to do what makes the most sense. What we're pushing, and there's some sideways periods, right? But it's slow and steady incline, slow and steady incline, slow and steady incline. We had the drawdown of being down 8K in May, and then before the month is over, we're back to all-time highs, and then slow and steady, slow and steady. Yeah, if I could go back and that day, to be honest, what was happening to me, I was having a headache, man. Like I was feeling pretty terrible. And I thought it was because of the light and the screens. So, you got to live with the decisions you make. At the end of the day, no amount of money is worth it if you're dead, right? You win it's like you win a lottery today of 500 million and then you die tomorrow. The just it's like a waste of time. Like you might as well have stayed home. I mean, for your family's sake, I guess, right? For your family. But it's like if that's the deal, and I know that's the deal, well, too bad, family. You got to struggle because I'm not dying for that. Like doesn't make any sense. It's like you'll hear people ask those questions in those social media videos from time to time, like, would you take this lottery ticket if you're gonna lose your life in 1 year or something like? Hell nah, come on. Although that is a different situation, right? I could have pushed through that headache, had my head hurt some more, and make some more money. But these are the biggest drawdowns here. The drawdowns have definitely gotten bigger over the years as we've used more size. We've had days where we're down like 5,000, which I think was one of these days in here. But yeah, you'll have bigger drawdowns as you start to increase the risk more and more. Day trading, man. Day trading, I tell you. But yeah, this is a good time to get out of here. It's 11:20. It's been a slow day. We're small green. We traded that penny stock and, not really much. We're going to head out of here, take the victory, and come back some other time. I started off at 27.5. 2,500 over the level. We've definitely been able to see more gains over the last few years, and a lot of it is becoming more comfortable, and it's why like we're not rich, right? Like the team house guys, like we're not rich, but you definitely start to feel more comfortable. But like I was telling one of my siblings, like we can't afford to do any nonsense because it wouldn't take a lot for us to be back at zero or in the negatives, you know? So we're trying to do all the right things, diversify, like for example, like having all of your money in one account, it just doesn't make any sense. Like I don't want to have all my money in my trading account. Whilst I trust myself to be disciplined, there's always the possibility that something could happen, even out of my control, like the power going out and I'm in a massive position. The wait for Thinkorswim customer service could be an hour, which it's been like multiple times before. Like the right circumstances could be devastating. So we have to manage risk in every aspect. Diversifying our money out of our accounts. Doing other businesses, doing whatever it takes to separate ourselves from being in the depths of being of poverty again, right? Because while this money is decent and we love what we're doing here, you know, there's still so much more to be done before we can say we've done anything. We're still pretty small in the game here. So we have to keep pushing and, over time, if we can keep up this consistency here, not only in the market, but outside the market, then we can get to a better place. That's the goal, progress. And so, one day at a time, one trade at a time. We're going to continue to push forward, and you know, hopefully we get to a better place. MGOL moving up. I think I'm going to shut it down. The volume is not as high as I would like. I'm going to shut it down, and I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe later later today. I'm going to jump in the Gen chat and Discord and hang out a little bit. But stay safe, stay green. I'll catch you guys next time.